people who came from the culture that she did, which was like raised in a super, super strict religious home in purity culture. And so when she got married, like, it wasn't like, you can't just flip a switch, right? So she was like, sex is bad, sex is bad, sex is bad, sex is bad. And then she gets married and all of a sudden sex is good.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap. My co-host in life, Brad, and I are going to dig into the freeing convo I had with Dr. Celeste Holbrook in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that interview, feel free to pause this now and then listen to it and then come back and join us here. I'm going to tell you right now, we talk about sex, baby. So you're going to want to listen to it.
Talk about sex, baby.
I also have her book. I'm so excited about it.
All the good things.
We talked about a lot of stuff. We went all places.
Let's talk about sex.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about positions or things like that. We just talked about the things that people want to talk about.
Actually, you know what you talked about more than anything else was communication.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, and you know what's really interesting? Her book is so timely. At the time of recording this, in my fucking Instagram feed, some stupid man decided to talk about stinky coochies.
Oh, yeah.
And your coochie needs to be Christian if you don't want your husband to cheat on you. The fucking bullshit that people lie to women about. Lie. Just bold-faced fucking lie.
There's no such thing as a Christian coochie. Go fuck yourself. That is insane.
It also, I don't care what you believe. It is never your fucking fault if someone cheats on you. It's never your fault. It's always about them. There's something going on there. It's not your fault. Period.
Yeah. Okay. I was incensed after watching that video, and there's a special place in hell for that pastor.
Yeah, there really is. And then I just listened to an interview about some girls who were raised in purity culture, and I had forgotten a lot of the shit that I was told. And then I've been reading her book, and it's holy fuck. It's a wonder women anywhere are having actual sex that's not painful. So anyways, go read her book. Go listen to that episode. We're going to talk about some good stuff in a second. I promise. I do think that the world does get better at some point. I do. I have to believe in that. Today is September 4th, 2025, and it is National Wildlife Day. And on National Wildlife Day, hold on, I'm pulled up. Oh, what a
America
cute
marks
picture.
National Wildlife Day
No,
every
don't
year
take this away from me.
on September 4th.
It's an opportunity for everyone to step back, take a deep breath, and think about all that surrounds us. It is inspiring to consider preservation and conservation efforts that work to improve in the natural world. There remains so much to learn. As Henry David Thoreau once wrote, "In wildness is the preservation of the world." Okay, we couldn't agree more. So let's take a close look at this day. Here, yeah, go spend some time out in a preserve near you. We have a preserve near us.
We do. It's really close.
We actually have the wetlands. And then if we go up 2 hours, there's a really cool preserve we can go camping at. People go fishing at. There's a fucking lake.
There's one right here, a couple blocks from us.
Oh, there is another preserve.
Yeah, literally in the city, there's a preserve.
Yeah. So go find a preserve near you. You know, I know people like to get mad about the coyotes or the mountain lions that live there. They were there first. So take that in. And second, there's just something it's kind of cool that there's this wildlife that we live. And go to a zoo. I mean, make sure it's a good one, but take in the wildlife, because one, it's going away. And
I think the zoo would be the opposite of wildlife.
Okay, maybe, but I bet you some of them donate to wildlife. Maybe.
I'm
go camping.
They can be well intentioned.
So what do you want them to do? Go camping?
Yeah, go camping.
This wasn't very clear. So I guess take a moment to consider how you're going to preserve the wildlife near you and conserve efforts, your conservation efforts. Can you stop putting plastic straws near, water, like the ocean and things like that? the turtles are choking, you guys. So
Yeah. Let's not choke any turtles.
no, it's so sad. It's so sad. I can't watch those things. So
Our
anyways,
neighbor has a tortoise.
yeah, Tortimer.
Tortimer. The
Mm-hmm.
tortoise.
Mm-hmm.
The tortoise.
Mm-hmm.
Tortimer the tortoise. And he's like 15 or something.
But he's not even a desert tortoise. He's an African something tortoise. But
yeah, I can't remember the name.
Speaking of preservation out here in Vegas, so the desert tortoise is about to go extinct. We're having some huge problems with them and have enough space for them because they actually need flat desert land to crawl on. And then, of course, flat desert land is what everyone wants to develop because
Was it extinct or we're just
They're-
destroying their habitat
we're
here?
destroying their habitat
Yeah,
here.
I'm not sure if this is their only environment, but yeah, like the Las Vegas Valley, is expanding. They're expecting something like 400,000 people to move here in the next decade.
Yeah.
And so they're slapping
The
together.
lack of rain is not deterring anyone. So
Well, they're slapping together all these expansions all around the city.
Yeah.
And basically they're driving out
and
they're changing the desert landscape,
Yeah.
which is driving away.
and the
turtles.
desert tortoise can't live near the mountains because they don't climb rocks. They just walk on the flat desert. Also, I learned this fun fact. You like they have territories, right? Like you can't
Yeah,
have two male
they're
tortoises near each
territorials.
other.
Yep.
And they need to have a burrow during the hot part of the day. And if they don't know the area, you just can't pick up a tortoise and like move it to another part of the desert. They got to know where to burrow. So anyways, these are important things to know. And so if you live in an area that's got some wildlife, maybe take it upon yourself to find out what's going on in your local city council meetings and who's trying to develop those areas and
That's a good
yell and
idea.
scream because it's really cathartic and you can save a wildlife animal near you. We've been recently yelling and screaming to keep Las Vegas loud. So downtown loud. So, it's fun. It's fun to be part of things in the community to like take care of other people. Okay. Enough about this day. Coming up. Oh, like now we're actually
we're literally
so we're in the
en
UK.
route.
By the way,
we just landed.
no, we've been here a day. We're in Scotland for a
here
day.
a day.
Yep. We are actually at the very top of Scotland. We're as far up as we can go. And because we're going to take a little vacation. We're going to see some interesting Scottish games. And then we're going to drive all the way down to Essex, where we're teaching for 2 days, the movement base. And there might be a couple spots left in the workshops. And then we're going up to Leeds to teach there on the weekend in September. So this is all happening in September 8th, 9th and 10th, and then 13th and 14th. Anyways, it's a Tuesday and Wednesday.
I don't actually
And
remember the specific dates,
And
but
it's a Saturday and a Sunday. And
go to opc.me/UK
yeah.
for the specifics.
Yeah. And don't miss out because we're not coming back. Okay.
I mean, not anytime soon. Last time was 2 years ago. So
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're never going to be back.
No, we'll come back.
Yep.
Then
We
we're going
love
to
it
come home
there.
for 2 days. And then we're going to go to Pilates on tour in Chicagoland.
2 days?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We're
And
home for 2 weeks.
We're home for 2 weeks. And then we go to
And then we're gone?
Chicagoland. No, just 3 weeks.
Okay.
Chicagoland. And the time that we're recording this, we heard it was 75% sold out. That's probably changed. But I think the early bird ends next week if there's any room. And then we'll be in Cambodia. And by the time you're hearing this, you've got a month. You can still sign up. You can still buy a plane ticket. Like there's still time.
There's definitely still time. I'm still having conversations with people and there's room. So
rosenestretreats.com.
P.S.
Hmm.
If you have ever wanted to walk around with elephants, we go to an elephant sanctuary after the retreat is over. It's an extra curricular activity after that we love to do. And so we always stay an extra day. And we also go to a waterfall, which is super magical. And maybe that's the thing that you're just like really that excited. That's what you want to do. So I just want to throw those out there that you can join us for those in addition to the retreat. Go to crowsnestretreats.com, crowsnestretreats.com, and come join us.
Yeah. And as we're time of recording this, we're also trying to lock in a day of teaching in Singapore. So my Singaporeans, hello, we are coming your way. And then we're going to go see the botanical garden. So if you want to walk around the gardens with us, you can. Then December is our winter tour. And we're getting a ton of people asking us if we're going to Texas and things like New York and things like that. Yes, it's on the winter tour. So go to opc.me/events to get on the wait list for that. Because if you're on the wait list, you hear right away. And let me tell you, when we announce our tours, some cities literally sell out, especially on the winter tour. So because we've been doing the winter tour the longest and people are really excited about it. So opc.me/events. Okay.
You're not wrong.
Before we
You're
get
not
into,
wrong.
I know. We went to bed after announcing it, I woke up, 2 cities were sold out.
Two cities were sold out in less than 24 hours last year. Yeah.
All right, Brad, we have an audience question to answer.
Yes, we do. All
and
right.
actually, this is really for you.
Oh, would you like to read the question?
Yes.
Okay.
At GP Pilates Studio, that's Greenpoint Pilates Studio. Hi, Alan. On YouTube asks about how to make your own Pilates sandbag video. Hey, Brad, what is the diameter of the rope and cord, the paracord that we use? What's the diameter of it?
Okay, so this was on a video that we made, Lesley and I made, called How to Make Your Own Pilates Sandbag, right? And if you're familiar with the sandbag, it's the bar, and then there's the cord, and then there's the weights, and you can twist it, back and forth. And so we actually made one our own, and we showed you how to make your own. So if you're interested in that, it's on YouTube. Great question here, Alan. GP Pilates Studio on YouTube. So it doesn't matter really what the diameter is. You don't want an inch thick piece of rope. That would be just annoying and bulky. But what I used was just your typical cheapo, bought it at the hardware store, nylon cord. I think it was $10 for 100 meters of it or something like that. And they wrap it around that little H looking thing, and you just spin it around it. And it's I don't know,
okay,
there was no real diameter. It's just the smallest thing.
I found it. 3/8 of an inch.
Yeah. But honestly, if you get a 1/4 of an inch, it's fine. I probably at a 1/2 an inch or an inch thick rope, it would just be annoying because you're twisting it around this, it would become like a spool, and that's just silly.
Yeah.
So smaller is fine. The reality is it just needs to support, a pound or 2 pounds of weight.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to lift a house here. We're just.
I'm pretty sure it's a 3/8 of an inch one.
Yeah.
That looks like what we got. And also because I remember it fits right through if you just drill a hole. We didn't get anything fancy.
I just took a 1/4 inch drill bit right through the middle, and then I just threaded that through. So as long as you can get the rope through, it's fine. That's really, all that matters.
Yeah, I love it. So you can all make your own sandbag. We did it for the accessories deck, which is now shipping worldwide.
Yeah, we showed you how to build 3 different pieces of equipment. One was the push-up handles, one was the 2x4, and then finally was this one, the Pilates sandbag. So yeah, great question. Thanks for that. If you have a question, you can text us at 310-905-5534, or you can submit your question or your win to beitpod.com/questions, beitpod.com/questions. And we kind of need you to submit, y'all, so we have some wins to talk about on our Friday pod.
I know.
So let's go.
I know.
Let's go right now. Pull out your phone. Go to beitpod.com/questions, beitpod.com/questions. All right. That's enough of that.
You know how easy a win is? This is my new win. So I have been trying to figure out, I love my red light mask and neck. And when I got them, I was using them really regularly, and we got really busy. And I've everything else, all my other habits have been really good, but that one has just been hard to fit back in. And I saw the dermatologist, and he's like, yeah, my wife uses hers every night. And I said, oh, when? He was like, before bed. And, so she washes her face and she uses it and she goes to bed. I'm like, oh, I can do that. And so I have done it 4 nights in a row. Yeah, right before bed, I just put them on my face and I lay there. And what's crazy is I actually am getting some really good deep sleep. I'm sleeping really well. And I think it's that there's a time before I fall asleep that I'm just laying there waiting to go to sleep. So that's a win.
Is it it's on for 10 minutes?
Yeah, it goes off on its own. So even if I fell asleep with them, I wouldn't want to do that, but I could fall asleep with them laying on my face and
Yeah.
Yeah. See how easy that was? I just came up with a win on the spot.
That's a win.
You can do it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Well, stick around. We'll be right back because we're going to dig into this juicy conversation that we had with Dr. Celeste Holbrook, and also celebratory. It was really awesome. So we'll be right back. Okay. Now let's talk about Dr. Celeste Holbrook, PhD, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's no joke. Dr. Celeste Holbrook is a sex educator with a PhD in health behaviors and a post-grad emphasis in sexual behaviors. She helps women and couples overcome challenges, heal from shame, and create better, more fulfilling sex lives. Her new book, Missionary Position, a slightly irreverent guide to sex after purity culture, tackles the complex interaction of sex, religion, and personal freedom. Celeste is known for her practical, down-to-earth approach that makes conversations about sex accessible and empowering, and honestly, not awkward. She's just really good at making it it's just a conversation. It doesn't have to be this silly thing. For some reason, it's we it feels like we revert to sixth grade whenever this conversation comes out, and it's like everyone like he's in the corner. It's so weird, and you might not be doing it out loud, but you're kind of cringing a little on the inside. She just takes that whole thing away, and like I mean, she's very matter of factly talking about having dildos in her social media posts. It was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, yeah, there's that. But yeah, I mean, she's not being like risque or weird about the conversation. She's specifically serving people who came from the culture that she did, which was like raised in a super, super strict religious home in purity culture. And so when she got married, she for some like it wasn't like you can't just
Okay.
flip a switch, right? So she was like, sex is bad, sex is bad, sex is bad, sex is bad. And then she gets married and all of a sudden sex is good. Like
Yeah.
that's not how it works in the body. And she
No.
had to tackle that.
Yeah, definitely listen to her first interview on the show because it actually goes into that. If and I think it's really interesting. I think like even if you weren't raised in a super like if I say purity culture and you don't think automatically
Like
think
that
of the
doesn't mean anything to you,
and you
right?
don't you never had a ring on your finger that was turned one different way and you were like betrothed to your father until someone was picked for you. You laugh, had that ring, guys.
Not laugh. It's like a
It's like
sardonic
yeah,
shudder.
oh, I know because
It's
like we thought that was normal.
totally thought it
Did
was
you read
normal.
the book I Kissed Dating Goodbye?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Josh something or other,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think he's
Of
come out and
course.
said everything I taught was wrong. I'm almost positive
He
one of
had a
the guys
follow-up book, and then I think he got like ostracized from the church or
yeah,
something
one
afterwards.
one of the purity culture dudes, and I think it's Kiss Dating Guy Goodbye guy, has come out and said his book was extremely harmful and he doesn't believe that anymore.
Joshua Harris, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you, Josh, for doing that. But like for the women who are listening, if you have friends in your life, if you weren't raised like this, who literally were told that like that is the worst thing they could do is to at all make a man lust. If you did anything that can make a man lust, like you were causing him to go to hell. So you were like doing
Yeah.
everything you can to like not be attractive and not be feminine. And then you get married and you're supposed to just be sexy and have sex and like make babies. And Dr. Celeste and many women, they actually go through this painful experience with sex. And maybe you don't have that, but also you don't actually know. And she talks a lot about communication. How do you want to feel? Like you were never taught that sex could be something that you could enjoy. A
Wow.
lot of women are not taught that you can enjoy sex.
I just went down the rabbit hole. 20 years after writing the book, I Kissed Dating Goodbye, Joshua Harris left the church he was pastoring, divorced his wife, and made a documentary about the repercussions of the book.
Oh, I want to watch the documentary.
It's called I Survived, I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
Okay, well, we're watching that. That's
Wow.
tonight's show. It's really interesting because like I had a very interesting childhood where there was definitely purity culture at the church camps I went to. My parents tried to do these things, and then also my parents would kick us out of the house so they could have sex. So like sex was a conversation that they had. My grandparents would talk about how they had sex a lot. So like it's not like I lived I knew that married couples had sex, right? So, but it's just the reason that I bring this up is I actually think a lot of women, whoa,
Sorry,
you good?
I found it. Somebody pulled it off of YouTube. He doesn't have the rights to it. And so it was on YouTube for years. I'm
Okay.
still down the rabbit hole, y'all. This is Brad's Now 2 Online. I went to his own website and I found a blog post from May, so 2 months ago,
Okay.
saying, I don't know why they pulled it off of YouTube. It used to be here. Here's a link to it that was on a pirated website. I don't know how long it's going to be available, but you can still watch it. So
Love him. Okay.
very
We do
interesting.
need to get back to Celeste.
Sorry. All right. I'm
we're all
focused.
in.
I'm in.
We're all
I'm
in.
back.
Okay. So I just am really obsessed with what Dr. Celeste is doing because I just know too many women who, whether or not you had a ring and were married to like dating your dad until you were dating someone else, you were not offered the opportunity to understand that you could feel good during sex. Like that's just very few people. Some people had brilliant mothers who were like hippies and like told about that. That is not most of my friends' experience. So
Yeah.
One of the things get her book. Okay, you'll get her book. So she said American society tends to view sex in binary extremes, but it's rather a more nuanced middle ground. And we've seen this. You can see this in social media today. Like people don't think that sex and gender are two different things. They are. Like so like what you're attracted to and like the gender, all these, there's differences, and it's not so black and white, and everybody wants to make it like this is how it is. Where sex is often placed on either end of the spectrum, either don't think about it or don't talk about it until a certain age or marriage. And then that makes it really difficult because, most of the things, like when you're a little kid, everyone asks like, what do you want to be when you grow up? So you have your whole life to change your mind. You're like, I'm going to be a judge. I'm going to be this. And you get to like explore and take classes and to do that. And when you're in this country, most people are like, don't do sex, don't have sex, don't get pregnant. And girls are also taught it's your fault if you get pregnant and there's something wrong. Like you did something wrong.
Yeah.
If you get pregnant. And
well, your shoulder straps were too skinny. That's why you're pregnant.
yeah. And then all of a sudden you're married. So now you should know how to do sex. You should know what to do, but no one let you talk about it. No one. Like it's just a whole mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. So anyways, I really that's why she wrote her book. She also explained we are not binary people as far as we want to do in our sex life. And she said she advocates living in the glittery middle, like just like, like it doesn't have to, like just because you liked it one way at some point is like another way.
Sorry. So just so that like when we say binary, I think what she's saying there is it's okay for sex to change over time. Because the conversation you were having is like, sex is different at different stages of life, right? When you're, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 70s, like it changes, right?
Yeah.
And so that's I think that makes sense.
Yeah. And she advocates for that glittery middle and like also, exploring and it's, I think what's interesting is like, she is so open to like helping you figure out what you want. And I have some amazing, interesting friends in this world. I have one friend who like has a partner who's asexual, has a partner that she dates, but they date someone else. And then she prefers to have one other one. And I am like the 12-year-old me is like, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's so weird. And then like the person who's like gone through some work, done a lot of reading. I'm like, that is very fascinating. I don't like looking at my calendar that much. And that sounds like way too many.
It's a lot of scheduling.
It's a lot of scheduling. It's also a lot of testing. It's a lot of things. But she looked at me and she's like, 10 years? Like, are you bored? So like, it's really funny how we all have a different thing.
Yeah.
And she and Dr. Celeste is just like advocating for like, live in your glittery middle. Understand that what you're going to want out of your sex life is going to change and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with you as it changes. Like just explore that. And so she basically said, you get to decide what is best for you. And that right there is like the opposite of what purity culture and dickhead people in this country want you to think. They don't want you to think it's what's best for you. They want you to think it's what's best for the dickheaded man they think you should be married to. Anyways.
Tell me more about how you feel.
Fucking Christian coochie. That's never going to leave my mind.
Yeah. Like, what a woman hater. Gross.
That's the interesting thing. Like, I think a lot of people in that world just don't like women. But that's anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to say as a comment to that, how do you get to the point? Like, the reason I made the comment at the beginning was that it was mostly about communication.
Yeah.
Is because if you have been with someone for a long time, what does it look like to have that conversation of like, things are changing and shifting in your sex life? How is that? What does that mean? And like, I'm not talking about like promiscuity. It could be that, but maybe it's just simple things like, hey, you know what? Like, I want to change it up, like, let's change it up today, whatever. But the communication is where I think it gets awkward. And hopefully, with your partner, you have the type of relationship where you can just simply have a conversation about it.
Also, am I going to take away on your talking points? I really loved how she talked about the fawning, like the faking the orgasm. Is that in your section?
My section. No, I was talking about how things changed over time. In fact, I even jumped ahead to it without realizing it myself. Okay. Fawning is really interesting. If you're not familiar with the definition, what is fawning?
So essentially, like there's flight, fright, fight, right? And I used to, when I studied biology, it was like fret and fuck. Like some people, well, that's like, it's all part of the same part of your brain system. So that's kind of funny. But fawn is like this like people pleasing, or you've seen it in movies where the guy gets really mad and he hits her and then she's like, oh, it's okay. Actually, that was my fault. I tripped into you. Like they do this whole, you know, like, you're okay. Everything's like, and like, acting like really small and docile, like a little lamb. And then that makes the person, usually a man, like, calm down. Everything's fine. She talked about faking orgasms as a fawning response, as a people pleasing response. And we talked, oh my, you guys have to listen to this because she talked about, like, she believes in being honest, but also being kind. And we taught, and like,
She said there was a difference between honesty and full
full
transparency. She
transparency.
said she doesn't believe in full transparency, but she does believe in honesty.
Yeah.
And she said people can use full transparency as honesty and be cutting and hurtful,
Right. Because,
right?
like, because she also, because, and this is an interesting thing. If you have been faking orgasms in your entire marriage, it's, you can't always just blame your partner because you never told them what it would take to please you. And so they're just doing what you have responded to in the past, you know? So it's and I thought it was really fascinating. So it's like, yes, be honest, like, hey, I would like to try something different. That's no longer working for me. And so then it's not something that you're rejecting the other person or making them feel like shit. And you're also able to then start articulating what you want. And it does take practice. You're right. It's all about communication. It's such a, you guys have to go listen. If you have, you've got to listen. Got to listen.
Yeah, and just to wrap that up there, you know, as things change over time, she said, "Hey, we mature as humans. Why wouldn't our sex life mature too? And it's important to allow our sex life to mature as we mature. It's the most helpful thing that we can do for ourselves."
Yeah.
So, you know, I just thought it was really a topic that nobody ever talks about that's really helpful. So, yeah, there's a lot of room to allow ourselves compassion to grow as we grow,
Mhm.
right? And then, you know, and that's like,
Oh, you guys, I mean, when you get older, like, your bones get brittle. So, like, there's going to be some positions that neither person, no matter what your gender is and who you want to have sex with, can do. Like, you're going to have to start doing it in sideways sex because, like, you could fucking break your pelvis or a hip. So, like, just start
you
getting,
could break it while fucking is what you meant to say.
yeah, that too. But anyways, so just like, if this is a conversation that you are like already going, I don't know if I can have this, read her book,
Yeah.
follow her, because the more I do, the more I'm like able to go, oh, what an interesting thing that I haven't been able to articulate. That was really helpful. Thanks so much. You know? So anyways,
Yeah, we'll stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to dig into those be it action items that we have with Dr. Celeste Holbrook. All right, so finally, let's talk about those be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Dr. Celeste Holbrook? She said, "Hey, I've got a 4-part guide and you should use it." And she maps it out in detail in her book, but high level, it's the analyst, the assassin, the healer, and the explorer. And I thought this is kind of cool. And she said it's like the archetypal woman. So the analyst helps you understand what are we actually carrying around? Are these mental bags full of shame, full of neglect, full of fear, right? And then the assassin is taking what the analyst has found. So this is like a progression, right? So it's not just like you're only stuck in one. It seems like this is a progression. So
mm-hmm.
the assassin then is taking what the analyst has found and is just slicing through it, like deconstructing, you know, the in her case, she's specifically talking about purity culture
Mm-hmm.
and like all the baggage that we're saddled with from that kind of a thing. And then after the assassin is the healer who facilitates like she helping regenerate ideas about sex through like education.
Yeah,
Like,
right, re-education. Mm-hmm.
yeah, gentle re-education about what is sex and what's okay. And, you know, like, why do we have this guilt around sex? And like, why does that even, like, there's just a lot of history that
Yeah.
blows my mind. Finally, we have the explorer, like, you know, where you've kind of, after you've gone through some healing, you're now like feeling more confident, more willingness to, you know, be like, explore having sex. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that could be with your partner, with yourself, or whatever, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, it's an interesting like progression
Well,
out
I
of
think it's a cool idea of a process because it if you think, "Oh my god, I have to figure all this out." Or you might hear about the explorer part and be like, "What the like you can't even wrap your head around that." It's because you got to go through the process.
yeah, and I
And
think it's great because it really sets her up. Like, you know, she jokingly said a lot of my conversations are pretty boring. Like what because she's got clients, one-on-one clients, and it's not they're not like crazy, like it's not it's not like telling it's not story time. She's actually helping people go through the process that she created here. So it depends on what's, part of the flow that you're in, might just simply be analysis for a while, and coming to terms with it. And then it won't be until you've come to terms with that you can move on to the next phase. But what's great is that she has a process, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah. She also has a couple other things for you, which is something you can repeat. She said for you to repeat, I prioritize myself by allowing myself to go at my own pace. I prioritize myself by allowing myself to go at my own pace. I think that is so important no matter what the topic is, no matter what you're trying to be it till you see. Like if you got nothing out of this episode but that affirmation, great. And she also, because we've talked about her being like a slow reader and like her writing and all that stuff. And she really learned to prioritize herself and appreciate being considerate and slow and thoughtful. Like that's actually her prioritizing herself. By her not going, I'm a slow reader, but instead going, I am a slow reader. So I am going to be considerate and slow and thoughtful.
Yeah.
That's how I do things.
And give myself the time and space
I
to
thought
do
that was so cool. Like what an amazing way to prioritize yourself is to like do the things the way you need to do them.
Yeah. And that's like, across any element of life.
Yeah.
It's not just, around sex.
Yeah.
So I think that's great.
And then finally she said, and this is for your sexual life, she said, where the goal for sexual choice is to be your decision and not one manipulated by society or cultural values or religious values.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important because even if you aren't someone who is religious, but maybe your culture had a different kind of pressure or a different way of seeing your body, or maybe you feel a different way with society, your sexual life is and choices are your decision and not one to be manipulated by anybody else. So I think that's so important. I just fucking love her. I wish she lived closer. I want to have coffee with her all the time.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun to listen to, and also her story about how her book came to be. What a roller coaster that was!
That was so
and how
fun.
cool that that you were a part of it. I think that's pretty neat.
Honestly, like this is like like everything happens for a reason. Like how we interviewed him 2 years ago,
Jake.
Yeah, and I forget how Jake got to me. I actually don't.
Jake, I think, was connected through
somebody
BBG
told.
peeps.
No. He's a Kristen Lori Harder friend person.
Oh, maybe yeah.
So somebody sent Jake to me, and then
Jake Kelfer.
Yeah, and then I watch Celeste stuff, but sometimes she ends up not in my feed because of algorithms. And that day, I just happened to not only watch, but I actually read the whole thing, and I was like, "What's going on?" I tapped through I watched every story, and I was just like, "Call me."
Yeah.
But like it's just like
Jake was interviewed on episode 202.
But this is how
202.
you can't. This is something for me too. We can't worry. Oh my God, what if I missed out on this? Because like I was meant to watch her stories on that day. Like I was meant to, because it could have been so easy for me to not pick up my phone that day and not watch them. Like, there was a reason why I opened my phone up and I watched her stories. I do not watch that many people's stories. And it was because I was supposed to see them and introduce her to Jake. That was my whole goal. That was like the universe working for her. The universe was like, okay, Celeste, we're going to make sure Lesley sees it because Lesley knows Jake and you need to know Jake. Boom, it's done. And like, yeah, she had to write the book. I love it. I love you. I love you, Dr. Celeste Holbrook. I love the book. You guys go get it. I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Thank you so much for being you. Now go share this with a friend who needs to hear it. And go get her book. And go leave us a review because we really appreciate that. And go be it till you see it.
Yeah. And just one last time, her book is called Missionary Position, A Slightly Irreverent Guide to Sex After Purity Culture.
I love it so much. I love it so much.
Bye for now.
Bye.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the epic team at Disenyo.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.